Imagine you're driving home from work and you see this flag being raised on a bridge above you. Now, if I saw something like that, I'd be like, wait, am I in the 1940s right now? Nope, this is 2025, and some people still like to follow this ideology.
A group of people stood on the overpass waving flags with swastikas and white supremacy messages on them.
Waving swastika flags, some armed with rifles.
So as much as you want to get outside and punch somebody who does something like this, unfortunately, it's kind of hard to do that when they're carrying assault rifles on them. Now, before the bridge actually got closed off, there were some people driving by, and these protesters thought it would be a good idea to call them some slurs.
Eric Ruffin took this video of a group of apparent Nazis in Lincoln Heights where he says they called him the N-word.
Tried to elevate myself and hold myself to a level that I could be proud of. And I got to stop at a stop sign and somebody called me the N-word.
And you could tell this guy was really affected by it. He didn't do anything, he didn't say anything, he was just minding his own business, and somebody says something super degrading to him because of his skin color.
Eric Ruffin stared down a group of people holding Nazi flags and guns just a few hundred feet from his business. Anyone who drove along I-75 near Evendale Friday afternoon saw the same thing.
Now that video makes it kind of hard to see, but besides the Nazi flags that these guys were waving, they also had a flag that said, "America for the white man." Now, just when you didn't think these guys could get more stupid for supporting Nazis, did they forget that Nazis killed other white people? Now, Jews were obviously the largest group of people that were murdered by Nazis, but besides Jews, if you were Slavic, so Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, etc., or if you were Romani, some people call them gypsies, Nazis didn't like you either. So for these people to say America for the white man, when Nazis couldn't even agree on what a white person was, is just ridiculous. And if any white American person went to Europe and said, "Hey, what's up, my white brother?" Europeans would be like, "What the fuck do you mean, my white brother? Are you Italian? Are you Polish? Are you Irish?" Even European countries have had wars with each other, even though you would think, well, they're white people, so they should be unified. No. So this whole sign is just, it couldn't be more beyond stupid.
Yeah, so by the time we showed up, there was a Jeep that was smashed to bits right about here in the parking lot, and we're told that that was because there was a lot of anger over what they saw on the bridge just over there. They saw hatred, and they saw racism, and they say that there was a lot of hurt over what they saw here.
So after some people had to deal with racial slurs, and more people started seeing this Nazi demonstration, they decided, you know what? Let's protest against their protest. So people started gathering up and they started marching towards these guys.
Residents of nearby Lincoln Heights soon arrived to protest the Nazi demonstration.
Now luckily there's point of view footage from both sides here. So you get to see some of the counter protesters recording and showing what they're doing, and you get to see the Nazis recording what they're doing. And I had to blur out the N-word being used at least a good 20-30 times here.
Look at all these niggers coming from. Look at the niggers coming.
They done came to the wrong hood with that shit.
Look at all the niggers coming, man.
Got these punk ass Nazis out here, y'all.
I think we got problems, J-Ball.
Yeah, you do have problems coming towards you. Problems that you should be ready for, right? And the police, understandably so, put themselves as a stopgap between the Nazis and the counter protesters, because otherwise we would have seen a really big bloodbath on that bridge.
Look at the niggers coming.
We don't want them at, well, okay. They can die today.
My little ass is gonna be walking by all the
And they call us cowards, but we're out here.
Just because you're out somewhere doesn't mean that you're not a coward. I mean, if you're so much of a brave, confident man, why do you have to hide behind a mask?
They want to die today.
We're outnumbered now. We're in the thick now. Nah.
Now, the counter-protesters, rightfully so, weren't super happy with these guys, so they decided to approach them more and more, almost to the point where they were getting past the police.
I'm ready to fight. Fuck them.
I love how he's so confident while holding an assault rifle and also being behind police protecting him the whole time. I would love to see him mask off, no gun, no nothing, just walking over to some of the protesters. Let's see you throw down. Let's see you do what you want to do, which is to fight them. But obviously this guy is too much of a coward to do something like that, even though he says he's not a coward.
Get him the fuck out of here, man. Goddammit. Get him the fuck out of here.
So as these people are getting closer and closer, they're starting to realize that they fucked up and they might have to retreat.
Hey, Carl. cop's gonna give us an escort to Freddie's car. Oh, fuck yeah.
Now, the cops are going as far as to giving these guys an escort to leave the premises. And even though from the standpoint of the cop, yeah, you're trying to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. You don't want people getting shot, people getting hurt or whatever. But just optically, a cop escorting Nazis safely away. That just sounds really bad.
Hey, hurry up, come on. We accomplished what we wanted today, though, didn't we?
I'm not sure what these guys really accomplished by doing this, other than getting some attention from the media and maybe losing their jobs in case these guys ever get identified. But yeah, that's not really an accomplishment that I would think most people strive for.
People are angry here, but at the same time, I talked with a pastor here trying to at least dial back some of that hatred.
So the police had to tell them to calm down, and they had to tell those Nazis to get the fuck out of here because we can't be protecting you for too much longer.
Let's go!
And those Nazis said, whew, thank God we got the police here. We can all get back inside of the U-Haul, have a little sausage fest if we want to, and then get the fuck out of there. So after those guys left and drove away in their U-Haul, some of the protesters actually found one of their flags.
A group of Lincoln Heights residents say they chased the protesters away, took one of the flags that was on the bridge.
The protesters did what anybody would want to do with the Nazi flag and burn it.
Burn that bitch out, man. Burn that bitch burn.
A group that eventually grew to more than 100 took a swastika emblazoned flag and set it aflame, leaving just this blob.
Comments like this one from Emma Huffman saying, can't we just all get along? Damn, that's the type of comment I used to write when I was like 10 years old and I didn't know any better in the world. Back when I used to think there's just good people and then there's bad people, or that there's people that just agree and disagree with each other and we should all just make up and love each other. But now that I got a little older, a little bit smarter, I realized that it's kind of hard to get along with people that are stupid.
Evendale police released a statement that the demonstration, while offensive, was legal. Protesters took issue with that response.
You're allowed to have a protest, but where's your permit? Where's your permission? And then inciting hate, calling people n***s. That's not right.
It's still kind of crazy to think that Nazism is living on in 2025 in the US, in the same country that was fighting against the Nazis in the 1900s. So nobody actually got physically harmed in this situation. Seems like those guys just went there, got the attention that they wanted, and were forced to flee after people were saying, fuck around and find out. That's all I got for now. Take care.